That didn't have anyone in the American Song Contest. But if they did, it would be
No, it was a
Mr.
tight competition, Chris.
It would
And
be
it's
Mr.
not
Athalay.
you, apparently, Matthew Sublime. aka Matthew Sublime. To the helm of that exciting stuff. We're just gonna be posting about that on our social media pages. Always great to see, one of our own kind of ballad up with the rest of the world.
That's
so.
right. I mean, Jason J going up against the likes of Cisco, Macy Gray, Michael Bolton. Do you even know who Michael Bolton is?
Yes.
Who is Michael Bolton?
All of these are just great artists. I don't know. Who is he?
How am I supposed to live without you? That one, right, sir?
Yep.
Yep. Is a long haired. He was like the Kenny G of songs. Do you know who Kenny G is? Okay,
All right, this is going to become a
let's
roast.
just get into the news.
Yeah, I know what the news is here.
You do, sure it is. Stay in your lane, buddy.
Yeah.
8:36 here. Tomas Manglona joins us with the very latest from the CNMI with this special report. Good morning, Tomas.
Good morning, Chris. Yes, yesterday the Senate officially adopted the rules that will govern Governor Ralph Torres's impeachment trial. Of course, this coming after the near fistfight in the Senate between Senator Victor Holkog and Senator Paul Manglona. The Democrats and the independent bloc, about three of them, tried to push back and make amendments, but they were voted down 5-3. Obviously, the Senate is a 9-member Senate, but Senator Kittigat was absent. And Chris, many people saying this foreshadows what will happen in the actual final vote, that the Democratic bloc and the independents will unite and the Republicans will stay unified. I did, though, want to play this clip of a speech that Senator Teresita Santos from Rhoda delivered. This is, at least in recent memory, one of her first public statements on the matter of impeachment. Many people wondering if she supports it or not, and this shows possibly that she does not support the current rules, as she says here in this speech. The impeachment rules that two senators almost scrapped over are set in stone.
I only ask that we move ahead so that we can get to the next step, so that everyone in the Commonwealth can finally go with the process and watch the proceedings go in an equitable and a fair manner, open to the public.
But that tone-setting comment striking a nerve, drawing harsher lines in the sand.
Other senators have amendments, but I guess no matter what I say, it's already done.
Factions within the Senate becoming sharper than from the start.
Despite the public statement that a minority member will be appointed to the Impeachment Special Committee, the 5-member Senate Impeachment Committee without a minority member's participation in this adopted impeachment rules continues to have significant control over key procedural matters throughout the hearing. In essence, the Senate as a whole is stripped of its duty as jury.
Key flashpoints lie in rules that create a special committee that could essentially dismiss the articles, an airtight burden of proof, and the inability for the House to choose its own prosecutor.
The Senate will not be conducting a fair and impartial trial, and if these rules are adopted, we might not even have a trial at all. The proposed rules is it's littered with bias and extremely apparent and obvious that the scales of justice has been intentionally and knowingly dipped to accommodate the impeached.
That strong rebuke, notwithstanding the Republican majority many believe is likely to keep the governor in office for the ultimate referendum in November. Tomas Manglona for KOAM News.
From fulfilling his promise to the people of the Commonwealth. And to further tip the scales of justice, the House impeachment record as supplemented means that Rule 9G gives the impeached official the power to either strike any part of or the entire House impeachment record or supplement in any part or the entire House impeachment record. In direct contrast, the 18th Special Committee on Impeachment Rules, chaired by then Senator Ralph Torres on the articles of impeachment of former Governor Benigno Arfito stated, Rule 14, sufficiency of articles of impeachment, that any motion to dismiss or challenge the sufficiency of the articles of impeachment shall not be entertained by the Senate. The Senate members understood that their constitutional mandate was to conduct a fair and impartial hearing, not to challenge the sufficiency or dismiss the House articles of impeachment. Rule 7, appointment of impeachment prosecutor. Mr. President, I do not understand why the committee chooses to dictate who shall serve as the impeachment prosecutor. In the U.S. Congress, impeachment managers are representatives selected by the Speaker of the House of Representatives. To further hinder and limit their fiduciary duty, the impeachment prosecutor staff shall be limited to House legal counsel and/or other employees. In my personal opinion, this rule is unjust, unethical, and unfair, and unreasonable to the House of Representatives. If these overreaching actions were reciprocated, I undeniably doubt that the Senate will consent and tolerate such disregard of the separation of houses of the legislature, and this has been echoed by several members of the House of Representatives. Rule 8, notification of impeached officials' legal counsel. Contrastingly, the Senate does not dictate who the legal counsel will be for the impeached official, nor does the rule set any limitations or restrictions as it did to the House. Again, this is highly biased, partial, and unfair to the House of Representatives. In conclusion, Mr. President and members, and in addition to the specific rules that I highlighted above, I also have concerns regarding the witness list, legal sufficiencies of articles of impeachment, rules of evidence governing the hearing, burden of proof, and etc. I firmly believe that I cannot fairly formulate a sound decision knowing that these rules afford an unfair advantage to one party. My ability to render an impartial decision is trumped by this bias and prejudice rules. I am not a legal expert, but based on my understanding of the proposed rules, the Senate will not be conducting a fair and impartial trial, and if these rules are adopted, we might not even have a trial at all. The proposed rules is littered with bias and extremely apparent and obvious that the scales of justice has been intentionally and knowingly dipped to accommodate the impeached. Thank you, Mr. President and members. I yield for now.
And there you have it, Senator Teresita Santos from Rhoda speaking, and Chris, I think really breaking down each rule and the concerns that they have about the rules that were, again, ultimately adopted. The Senate shooting down all of the amendments that were offered by the Democrats and Independents. This Rule 3 here is what a lot of people are looking at. Basically, the Senate President could refer the articles of impeachment to also a special committee for a preliminary determination of basically whether or not they should dismiss or accept. So when Senator Santos there was saying we might not have a trial at all, what she's referring to is the manner in which the special committee could meet, and then the Senate, of course, would need to accept its recommendations. But essentially, this all could be procedurally done in a special committee role, and a lot of the amendments were to have it changed from committee to Senate body. And so I just wanted to also play the other side of the conversation, Senator Francisco Cruz, who addressed a lot of the feedback that was given on the floor from the opposition.
For your comments. I recognize Senator Cruz.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, Senator po, karaman olungin man session bumuruko. Are you seeking justice or war, gini? Umpupo si resolution ni House to proceed forward. Now that we're proceeding forward, you are interfering. Kote mang confident, are they not confident of their case? That's why we're moving forward, so we can entertain the resolution. Every time you come in here, we're very patient enough to continue to accept you, but you continue to create problem. Confident, stop the insulting, the accusation. Since when the governor? We're not representing the governor here, representing the public. We're trying our very best. Don't say that this is the governor authored this impeachment resolution of the Senate. We worked so hard for this, so don't accuse us. Lana tapanapamuli gini that move forward. Basta na isi puna ni publiko na ako mas muli gini. We're tired of his attitude gini. Don't gain the public's trust on you. You think we're bad? Let's move forward with this one. If they're confident with the case, they bring in when the time comes. We never bother the House when they does their investigation. Although we can see some unfair, but we never interfere because the Constitution gave them that mandate. Stop interfering with our process. so we can move forward with this resolution that you presented to the Senate. Are you guys not confident of your case? Give us that no opportunity that the Constitution mandated us to do. There's two houses here. There's not only one house. Why are you coming in to be part of the impeachment rule of the Senate? If you're confident of your case, then wait for your time to be called when the time comes for that either hearing or trial and present it. But stop accusing all of us. Since the day that I come to the Senate, I represent my people and the Commonwealth. I don't represent one person. So stop accusing us and give us that mandate so we can do our job. Ako na yung Senator po, kabrada na yun, umalo mo sa duruman na puso. Insesetawa.
Senator
So
Cruz,
this is enough. Stop saying that the governor altered this. Basta mapega palabra kay Patsun Mami sa ninasu kiti tanos Mami. Dati managin no Mami gini.
Senator Cruz.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you. I'm not going to belabor the session, Senator Po.
And you can see there was a very tense exchange between Senator Cruz and this, once again, Senator Paul Manglona in one
Wait,
corner.
that was an exchange? Did Senator Paul say anything?
He tried to say something later. We included this in our story last
Okay.
time. He said, quote, something to the nature of, we have amendments, we can offer them, but it seems that what's done is done. And Chris, I hate to say it, it is what it is.
Oh, God.
So-
Tomas, not you.
That's
no,
quite interesting.
Unsay it. Unsay it.
And we're hearing from some folks on the ground that, as the parties solidify their slates, there's going to be some major developments in terms of people running for different offices and also possibly leaving their party as well. So
Whoa,
the next few weeks are going to
So
happen.
you cannot just come on here and say, make something like that. What did you say?
That we're hearing that at least one person is going to leave their party in the upcoming election, and we'll bring you that story when it comes. But definitely a sign of the times, as this impeachment process has revealed so much, not just about what's
Yeah,
happening in
yeah.
government, but also about where people stand and what they're willing to do.
Tomas, you know what? Because I was watching the hearing with you yesterday, and one of the things that really it made me scratch my head is as much drum up and with the coverage has been amazing for this whole impeachment from when it was at the House to where it is now. But given the buildup and the cases and the interviews that we did with the CNMI Democrats, I really was expecting more of the public, like the public, to show up and testify at these Senate hearings. But we were watching yesterday, and it was just more of these House representatives.
Right, and that was something that Senator Cruz mentioned as well. Is that
instead of you're confident.
Also just imagine what the case would have been if senators went to the House to give
Yeah.
public comments before the testimony.
Yeah. Or,
Obviously,
let me-
these are procedural comments that
Yeah.
they're making, and something that the senators, at least that have aligned themselves with the Democrats in the House for this matter, it's something that they're definitely voicing out. And you're right. I mean, most of the public comments have not come from
The public.
residents.
Yeah.
Actually, the legislators who did speak say they were speaking in their official capacity. So,
Yeah.
right.
But I mean, I'm just as much as we heard about the allegations, the charges against Governor Ralph Torres, I was just assuming that it would be just a parade of people.
We saw a little bit of that in the House before they took their impeachment vote. I'm not sure if the trial will include a public comment section. I don't recall reading that in the rules, but that's what's happening, and we'll have more today. The Senate President is expected to have some comments for us that we'll include tonight on primetime about all of this developing now that the clock is ticking for the trial to take place. And one of the first things, if you read the rules that we posted online, is they're probably going to hold a pre-conference hearing, which will set the dates and timelines for both parties. And so we know that the governor himself has 4 attorneys, 2 private attorneys, 2 government paid attorneys that he's entitled to. And on the House side, based on the rules that were adopted, they'll have a chance to have one prosecutor, and Edmund Villagomez can accept that or deny it. If he denies it, the Speaker of the House, it goes on to the Impeachment Committee Chair, who's currently B.J. Attal. And then after that, if both of them deny, which is a possibility, then the Senate President Jude Hofschneider could hand select any lawmaker he'd like to prosecute on their behalf.
What?
That's part of
That's
the rules.
right? Yeah.
And these are set in stone. So
Wow, very, very
Don't
interesting.
deviate.
So that they can't bring in Johnny Cochran. It's got to either be the speaker.
The Speaker, if not the Speaker, then the Impeachment Committee Chair, and if
Right.
not the Impeachment Committee Chair, then the Senate President hand selects one.
That's interesting. So are they like, is the speaker? Let's say if is he like a lawyer?
No, that's something that Representative Sheila Babata yesterday said in public comments, that the governor has private attorneys, has lawyers on his side, while on the House side, at least the prosecutor themselves will not be a lawyer. I don't believe any of them have a legal background at this point.
You know what I was thinking of a way to kind of explain this whole thing with Senator Paul from Luta. How it all started was there was a public comment period, and he was trying to speak on the floor, and when he wasn't recognized and able to speak on the floor because it was public comment, he then got up and got out of his chair. What do they call it? Senator chair?
Yeah, his chair.
The senator chair, and went over to where the public was giving comment, and then tried to give comment there as a member of the public. Okay, so maybe to put it together in your head better, that's like on Guam, if there was a senator who was having a public hearing on a bill, and they didn't like the testimony that was being given, and they went and walked all the way around, and then turned went and sat at the table and tried to give.
Right.
Well, yeah, it's pretty interesting.
Yeah, so clock is ticking, and we'll know more as the day goes on. So
Thank
stay
you.
tuned.
Right on, Tomas.
Thanks.
Appreciate it. Got it. That's Tomas Manglona covering all things regional for the KUAM news team. Let's move back here closer to Guam, where we have the